Record on a computer. So hi, this is Dr. Andrew Hahn, and you are?
Juliet Kazmarek.
Hi, Juliet. And we're going to be just doing a demonstration session today, and we'll just drop right in. So why don't you take a moment and we'll both breathe together. So you can just bring your attention in and down. And just breathe into your diaphragm. And as you're breathing in, maybe 4 or 5 really deep breaths, you can just tune in. It's like opening to life, opening to the animating force of life, like light that flows into the crown of head, or a tingling or a vibration that just fills you. And as you're doing that, it's like you're opening to everything. And you can just be with whatever's here, wherever your attention goes, even if you thought you knew what you wanted to talk about. So anything at all about whatever you know is true for you or what's important to share. And just opening that way in the out-breath, you can just let go of whatever tension there is. You can just be with whatever is. And then let yourself bring your attention even further down from your diaphragm, down your legs, all the way through the soles of feet. So it's like you're not only centered, but you're grounded and you're rooted. And you're getting everything you need to sustain you, to nourish you, to nurture you, flowing back up from the soles of your feet, through the roots, all the way up through you. So you have everything you need to sustain you. And then you can just tune in again to the part of you that just knows when you're really aligned with life, what you really desire. If you could have anything you intend or anything you aspire to from this time. So then all I want to invite you to do, Juliet, is as you're doing that, as you're going to be sharing, just stay down and in and speak slowly enough that it's like you're listening to this deeper part of you, and it's really like you're sharing with yourself. You're listening to your own words. And then when you're ready, you can share whatever is important about your ongoing work or anything else that feels important to share, and anything, if you could have anything you desire from our time, what that would be.
I recognize that there's like a deep desire for a feeling of safety and a sense of freedom. Those are the desires, the two kind of, what I'm kind of acutely aware of is at the moment is the awareness in Canada, just the political climate right now. And I guess there's just this fear of like having strict oversight and therefore lack of freedom. And then within my own body, there's this awareness that there's this fear of like allowing life. Like if I am to want to have children, I'm aware of this cyst that's on my ovary. And so that's kind of always inspired my journey. And so I guess there's fear that arises, like if I let go of my awareness of that and healing that and bring it to this general sense of safety. Yeah, I'm just aware that I just am not feeling that safety, and that's something I desire. Safety and freedom.
Good. So again, we'll become a team, and I'm just going to do a little bit of muscle testing so we can determine, given what you said, because we'll work on something you said, just maybe directly or indirectly. And we'll find out where you're stuck, or we'll find out if we're supposed to do something else, and we'll go together and see where life takes us, okay?
Sounds great.
Anything you want to ask, go for it. I'm just, I've spent my time sort of, as you may remember, I've spent my time sort of understanding what questions we want to ask. Well, I'll ask the questions, but you can ask anything and I'll explain them to you again, okay?
Okay.
It's going to look like this. I'm going to say, show us a yes, and my body just moves forward. Show us a no, it just goes back. Show us a yes, it just goes forward. So that's what it looks like. So we say, the one we call Juliet, that's you. Do you know the best way to proceed? And we ask you, and it says no. And I suppose if you knew the best way to proceed, but sometimes people know, and they just don't know they know. But in your case, you don't know. So let's find out. So I'm going to find out how to proceed. So let's find out. They want us to do healing. They want us to do a standard balance. Is there anything better or else to do? So all that means is you're stuck someplace, but you already know you're stuck because it's not like you're saying, oh, I don't feel safe and it's a nice day to water my plants or something. So let's find out. All right, so standard balance means something's out of balance. So let's find out what we're going to do. So you have a highest intention, and that's where to do. And your highest intention is that any, some, or all of what you said. And it said no, which is a recall from a while ago. So let's find out. Even though nothing you said is the most important thing to work on, can we choose to work directly on any, some, or all of it nonetheless? And it says no to that also. And there's typically one reason for that, which is you're seeing the symptoms of some deeper intention. So whatever this anxiety is about, this not feeling safe, not feeling freedom, and probably even something about the cyst in your ovary and the freedom to have children but not feeling safe, somehow or other, all of those things and other things also are connected to some deeper intention. And so it's affecting all of those things. So it should have some impact. And even potentially on the cyst, even though it's perhaps a strange idea, because sometimes, physical things can have energetic causes. So let's find out. Let's see if you can find it. So could you go inside and you say, oh, I know what it is, and we ask you. And that says no also. So that just means you don't have a name you're seeing the result of something, but you don't have a name sitting there for what the something is, which kind of can make it hard to work on. So I probably have to find the name, which it says yes. So do I find it intuitively? And that says no, which means I, as Andy, doesn't know what it is either, but so I'm going to have to check. So typically it would be a pattern. Some kind of theme is what we're looking for. So let's find out. So what we're looking for is some kind of pattern, or what we might call some kind of theme. And that says yes. Are we looking for one made up of one? That says yes. Are we looking for one made up of more than one, or more than one? So we're looking for one theme. Okay, that's all it says so far. So now we have to find out what that theme is. So is it a standard pattern in life-centered therapy in a standard form? And that says yes. Is it a pattern in some other framework, like Jungian framework, or there's a lot of frameworks? It says no. That makes it convenient because I happen to know those patterns and we don't have to search, which is always a good thing. So let's find out what it is. There are 3 categories. It will only be one of them because it says we're only looking for one thing, okay? So is it what we call single center? That says no. Is it what we call major energetic? That says yes. Is it what we call identity? So a major energetic is a pattern that affects all of your centers. It makes you believe things that you know aren't true on a deeper level, and you have some judgment about it, like you're saying, we're all free, but sometimes we don't feel like we're free. So we'd say, I'm not free, but on a deeper level, you'd say, what can anybody do to me? They can hurt my body, but they can't hurt me. But we don't usually think that. So we feel, oh my God, we're not safe. But so it means you believe things that aren't true. You're not a choice about feeling, and you're not a choice about experiencing some feeling, and you're not a choice about expression. And it means you also have a boundary problem, which usually means you don't get to choose what goes in and what comes out. And boundary problems also can show up in physical problems like cysts on ovaries and stuff like that. So let's see what it is. And it's one theme that's affecting all of those. So let's find out, is it in the material? It's not in the material realm. So we're going to have a little conversation, because that just means it's a story that in Western reality would sort of be a little bit bananas, okay? It's stories of curses or ghosts. So if I say those things, is that okay with you?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, absolutely, it says you're stuck in one of those. So let's find out what it is. Now, we have to make sure some of these actually can take over the muscle testing. So we ask on a source level, do we have to ask for source level answers? Well, the good thing is it hasn't taken over your body enough that it would affect the muscle testing. Okay, that's all we know. So we're going to find out what this theme is, and we're going to see if we can do something about it. So we get to the right answer. I'm going to go backwards, okay? So entity, so it's not that. Ghost, it's not that. Curse, it's a curse. So it says curse. It's a curse. We have to work on a curse, which can be, you can either are cursed or you feel cursed, or you could have cursed somebody and it's coming back to haunt you, or you could have cursed yourself. And there are different kinds of curses, and we're going to find out what we need to find out. But all we know so far is this feeling of, there's something that's keeping me from being safe. There's something that's keeping me from being free from the, from the most personal levels to some kind of collective level, because you brought up the stuff about Canada and what's going on there. And it's also playing out in your body somehow or other around this cyst. And, can you get pregnant if you want to? All of those things somehow are related to this curse, okay? And the sense that you have to like keep attending to it, because if you forgot, something really bad could happen. So it's like it's keeping your attention. All of those are somehow related to this curse, and other things you haven't told me about, which probably you don't need to tell me about, but we know it's affecting other things too. So it can be affecting your relationships with authorities or intimate relationships, or we don't even know what. Okay? Or your friendships, or someone you thought was a friend wasn't a friend. I mean, we don't know. There was something's going on around a curse. That's all we know. So out of everything, we have to do a balance and a curse. And we have 100% permission. Shall we do it as an induction? Okay, is it am? Is it cursed? Is it cursed myself? Is it I cursed? So it's I am cursed. All right, I want you to say something. I'm going to invite you to say something out loud. And it may make zero sense, but I want you to say it with all your conviction, like it's really true. And then I want you to see, even if it makes zero rational sense, if it resonates with you, okay? What I want you to say, or what I want you to say, really with like it's really true, just with your conviction. I am cursed. Just say I am cursed.
I am cursed.
Well, that muscle test's really strong. If you had been here and I was pushing on your arm, it would stay like steel. I could sit on it. It wasn't going to go anyplace. Now, what I want to know is when you say I am cursed, even if it makes zero rational sense, does that resonate with you somehow? Like you have a feeling there might be some truth to it when you say it, even if it doesn't make any rational sense to you?
I felt that way when you first brought it up. It was like somewhere in some form, it was like, yeah, I thought so, even though it didn't make any rational sense. And then when I said it now, I just really felt like deep sadness, like I was beneath the curse.
What? I'm sorry.
Like I was beneath the curse, like it was. I just got this sense of like I had no power to even, like it was hard to actually say that.
Yeah, well, it's going to be. Okay, so that's how you know it. It's like you're beneath it, and there's this sadness, and there's this sense of no power. Oh yeah, that's how it's doing all those things, which of course could be why you don't feel safe and why you don't have freedom, and it's going to have something to do with some larger forces, obviously, and it's also going to have something to do with either literally having children or being creative or something. It's going to affect all those things, and power. So it's a curse, and it's I am cursed. Okay, so you want us to know anything more about the curse through the muscle testing? All right. You want us to find out what kind of curse? All right. Is it there? You want me to find out, you want to determine a number of things. Okay, is it a content level curse? So it's not a content level curse, it's a process level curse. Okay, a process level curse is like a very virulent curse because it's not a curse about a content, right? It's a curse about a process. So I'll tell you what might be relevant for you, although I'm not saying this is what's going on. A content level curse would be someone cursed you and they said you'll never have children, right? A process level curse would be the harder you try to have children, the worse it's going to get. That would be a process level. So it's like the more you do, the more you get into a sense of like hopelessness, despair, whatever. So it's like someone or someone's cursed you around a process. Do you understand what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well, it resonates right now. Yeah.
Good. So that's good to know. All right. So it's a process level curse. Now, let's find out. Do we have to know anything else? All right. Is it archetypal? Is it personal? All right. That means someone cursed you. It's not like they cursed you because you're a woman and they were cursing all women and you happened to get caught up in it, or you were a goddess and they were angry at the gods. Someone, in whatever the story is, it was much more personal. And they really sort of they had it out for you. And I mean, in one way, shape, or form, either because of they really wanted to get you, or they were so upset that they sent all this energy at you and it's affecting you. That's all we know. Okay. So that's what we know so far. All right. So that's all. Is there anything else you want to? So that's all you need to know. It's personal, and it's like a whole, like, it'd be like, someone comes to you for therapy and you think you're doing great work and they get worse. And it's because the more they do to try to make their life better, the worse they're going to get. That would be the verse. Okay. Or the harder you try to get pregnant, the more you're going to be miserable, or something like that.
Great.
No, well, it's not great, but
I know. I'm laughing. I'm like, oh gosh.
The more you try to get better, the worse. Anyway, so it's a curse like that, and it's going to make you feel obviously very sad and very powerless, and it's around some content which we don't need to know yet. You will find it apparently, so that's good news. Okay, so that's all we need to know about that. It's worded exactly correctly. Yes. Do we have to refine it? No. Do we have 100% permission? Yes. So we're done with that part. So now we know why you're here, and we know that it's affecting everything you said. It may not take care of everything, but it's having some impact on everything. That's all we know so far. We're going to work on that directly. Yes. Are there any patterns on it? No. So that means you don't need any more clues. So the next thing we should do is find out if we have to find out more about where this originated, because that's where you have the most leverage, because everything after it is an echo. So as the next thing you get information about story. It says yes. Are we looking for one narrative and one root cause? It says yes. So this apparently happened in a moment, whatever this thing was that's playing out all over the place for you. We're going to find out more. Okay, this does not originate in your lifetime either. So it's you sort of came in trying to work on whatever this thing was. It's been there sort of forever. That resonates with you. It's not like, it happened in your childhood, or it happened when you were a teenage girl or something. It was from some other lifetime. So let's find out. Yeah. Is it a past life? It's a past life. So there are two kinds of past lives. One is called genealogical. That would be something happened to your ancestors, and you're playing out their story, your blood ancestors. And one is karmic, at which point, if you believe in reincarnation in other lifetimes, this is you from another lifetime energetically, because soul comes through blood and comes through energy. So that's fine. It's not genealogical, so it's karmic. So this is not a story about your great-grandmother either. It could have been both. Then you would have, of course, been your great-grandmother in another lifetime. But in this case, that's not the case. You are just somebody. You could be anybody, but you're not going to be you, and you're not going to be your blood relatives. And it's going to take place in the past, not the future. That's all we know so far. Let's see if you need any more clues. And you don't need any more clues about who, when, where, why, how, or if you know the story or anything. All right, so we're going to get there through a sensation. Yes, anything deep and amplify, set up, or transpersonal. So that again says not transpersonal. It means that it's really, you're not holding a story for somebody else, or you're not a part of a group. It's you're the one in the story that's being traumatized around this, because you couldn't stop them from cursing you, or you didn't know they were cursing you. All right, so okay, so there's nothing, none of those. Any practices defined now? No. Is it fully available? Are you fully in state? That says yes. So as you're allowing this, what I want to invite you to do, me, I already know that your experience is I am cursed, and all of those feelings that you said, it's like beneath the curse and no power, and the sense of this curse being a particularly virulent kind of curse. Now, as you're allowing that, which you are right now, Juliet, I just want you to scan your body and tell us what you notice. Any sensations, heaviness, pain, queasy, empty,
I'm feeling like crushing sensation on my, like right in the center of my sternum, on my heart space, and like it's like I'm almost lightheaded.
Yeah.
And like my palms are like borderline, like they're borderline, my whole arms are borderline numb.
Yeah. Good. Now I want you to choose to bring all your awareness to crushing sensation in center of sternum in the heart space, and lightheadedness and numbness that goes from palms all the way down your arms. That this is your new name. You're like an actress and you're going to play a role. And in this role, all we know so far is your name is crushing sensation in sternum and heart space, lightheadedness, numbness, palms all the way down the arms. I'm going to say, whoever you are, who's the crushing sensation, who's crushing sensation and lightheadedness and numbness. You teach us. What have you come to share about this being cursed? Where is this beginning? What's happening to you? Now you just be those. You might become the being that it's happening to, or images come, or just knowings. And all we want you to do is just share with us, just talk with us.
I'm getting like a vision of it's like being in like a black box or a container is being, I think I'm like, it's like as if I'm in it and I'm being lowered deep into like the center, like towards a pit or like a deep like center of the earth kind of thing by a chain.
Yeah, this is really strong and goosebumpy. Yeah, you got it exactly right. Stay with it.
I'm also getting sensations of like my limbs. I don't know if it's limbs or like aspects of me are like it's like my hand is like trying to like reach out and energetically up and over, like scream, and it's like a bird sound, almost like screaming, screeching.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like resisting, and therefore parts of me, like there's so much anger, it's like shape shifting almost inside of that box as I'm going deeper and deeper and deeper into the darkness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I just get like the image of like feathers or like a big beak.
Mm-hmm.
And now I have like slight nausea. Nausea and like a something in my throat, like it's almost burning in my, it's now burning in the center of my heart.
Yeah.
It's now like I'm on like in on fire, like in flames.
Yeah. That's right.
And it's like a piercing in my heart, like as I'm in flames, I just felt this deep piercing pain through my center of my chest. I just feel like sadness, but also it was rage and then sadness. It's like I'm noticing like slight tingling sensations in my hands and feet. Kind of my whole body. It's like I'm like slowly like not dissociating, but like evaporating apart. And that beak, like the vision of this beak, and like it's turned sideways. Now I'm just aware of this pain in the center, or the discomfort in the center of my chest. It's like it's like burning, like almost like heartburn feeling. My back now, my shoulders and my back, like they feel quite large. I almost like feel, and they're like pulsing, breathing.
Mm-hmm.
I almost have this like anger. It's like this vision of like a Hulk kind of body that's like in fists. It's a vision more so, and it's like rising up.
Yeah. Stay with it.
I had that vision, and then immediately it like went to fear. Like it was like, I am that big, I am that Hulk, but then within myself, for some reason I felt this fear, and like I don't have that strength. And now my arms feel so heavy.
Yep. Yep. Oh, totally.
I almost like I have the sensation of like wanting to cry. Like my arms and body are like melting. Like I feel so heavy. Oh, it's just this fear of this melting. Because if I melt, like I'm scared of disappearing. And that burning in my like esophagus, like in my chest, upper chest now. Like a scream or something is trying to come up. It's like the only energy I have to try to fight for my life. And it's like a stabbing, uncomfortable sensation. I feel disgusting. I feel like I am and look just disgusting. Like I don't want to be in this body. This body that's like morphing. And like feel hate towards others for their judgmental looks. And now I have sharp pain in my right around my Adam's apple. I feel like somebody is forcing me, like I this exhaustion in my limbs, like I feel so exhausted and heavy, like I can't even lift my head up, and I feel like someone else is forcing me into this ball, like and now like I feel like I'm shivering. I like feel myself trembling. I feel myself in this ball looking up. Like a part of me is looking up for like grace, like please stop making me turn into this ball and compressing my whole body. I'm just begging for grace. And it just feels evil. Like, I feel confused here. Like a part of me has an awareness that I could sit up.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel too like disgusting too. And now I just got this vision that that box just got dropped even like way further.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's in space now, like in out there in space. It's weird. I guess I feel like I'm here. Like there's I can see myself in my body almost here. And it's like I'm looking down and it's like that fear. It's like a part of me. I don't know if it's my soul or a part of me is in that box, like dropped way down far into the universe. And it feels like it's like I can only hear, like, it's like I'm hearing the cries
Mm-hmm.
coming from it, but it's gone. I just feel like deep sadness for like it's as if a part of me just got sent away into the abyss. And so there's a hole in my chest. And that hole is like it's that screaming, that whatever is screaming and sad in that box in the abyss. I feel this like it's like an empty, literally, like it's like my chest, my heart center space is empty. There's a hole in it. And I guess my cognitive mind, I've been doing a lot of tuning in and I've just felt that feeling for a really long time now. So it's interesting to see it so visually. It's like light is flashing in front of my eyes now.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's flickering and flashing and I'm just aware of this sharp pain in my right on my heart. Like it's uncomfortable. Like I want to look away, but it's actually beneath my eyelids that this light, it's like white flashing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm simply aware of this like pinpoint pressure on my heart while the white light is flashing. And I'm not actually physically trembling, but I feel myself trembling. I just had the thought of like, I'm so tired and sick of being attacked.
That's right.
Like a woe is me. For some reason, I'm getting the sense of like this flashing light like makes me think of like the only image that I can think of is like being shot at by like multiple guns. But I'm still here.
That's right. That's right.
It's almost like I'm being like, there's like I don't know if like a part of me is like, am I just making this part up? I don't think so. My throat tightened when I said that, but it's like there's multiple people lined up around with guns, and they're all, and I think, I don't know, seems like I'm not able to say anything, but they have guns pointing at me. I'm just like I'm watching a person tied up with their hands behind their back, face down, and just being executed or shot at.
Yeah.
Browns. I just get the sense that it's just sick and not fair. Like it's disgusting. Not what's happening, but the cause. Like this person was innocent.
That's
right. I just have like a sadness, and there's not a lot of hope. Oh, it's just, I just have this overall sense of there's no hope. Like, my chest is so full of this feeling of like both disgust and there's no hope.
That's right.
Like it's a savage world.
That's right. Exactly
right. And there's burning in my heart too. Like it's burning with this disgust and anger. Yeah. Like, how could you? I feel that, and I also feel powerless.
Yeah.
It just, like, even breathing, it's like, I guess there's just this feeling of like there's no sense of breathing. Like there's no point in breathing if this is the world that I'm dominated by or living in. Like it feels very exhausting.
That's
right. Exhausting and depressing. Like deep within, there's like I really don't want it to be this way. That's right. Voice. But the external. It's like soulless, just marching in line and mechanical way of living, but being forced to. It's like soulless living, right. But it's actually just sadness.
That's right. Soulless living, but actually just sadness. That's right.
I just feel that deep sadness on my heart. That's right. And I just have this sense of like, I just want to like say it's like that, like a part of me, there's like a part of me that wants wants to be like a deep down, like in my abdomen, like a cheerleader, and be like, oh, just try this and this, like try this way of thinking, try this way of being. But it's like this heart and this persona right now is just shaking its head. And it's like, it feels like saying, like, this is just the way it is.
That's
right. Yeah, just my whole chest now is just enraged and burning. I'm just sick of it all now. Like, I'm sick of all of it, all these feelings, this life. Yeah. It's like I hate people.
That's right. That's
right. I guess that just makes me so sad, because that voice that is trying to tune into tools like tuning into love or looking at the bright side and having optimism, it's just like, but this feeling, it's like expansive across my shoulders and in my heart, and it's just, it just feels doomed, I guess. And this is the way it is. It's almost hurtful. It hurts to hear that happy little voice down below that's trying to focus on love. And as I said that, my throat really tightened. I just feel like I'm in this large space where it's like thick walls around. It's like a thick membrane. And it feels like a prison, like it just feels awful in here.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like a curse where it's like, no matter what, you're going to feel this way.
That's right.
Like it just like squashed that little voice of love down or joy down, and it just shut it down. Like it's almost like hurtful to hear it.
Yeah.
And now that I've kind of like squished that down deep in my heart, I just feel like that membrane has like hardened. And I just feel hardened, and my throat is like hardened and tight.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm like condensed, and it feels like this is my destiny, in the sense of like, well, this is how it's going to be. Yeah, it feels hopeless. Like, in the center of my chest just feels like a cemented.
Yeah.
Like cement rock that like there is no joy. There's no space. It's condensed cement. Yeah, so that's really uncomfortable to have to sit with this.
Yeah.
Just, I guess I feel angry and bitter. I feel angry and bitter that this rock is here. It's just cement in the center of my chest. I have a desire to remove it, but every time I think of that desire of removing it, it's almost like it gets louder and just defeats me. And so here I am. I'm really trying to like find a way to get rid of it or get around it, but this cement heavy ball is right in my chest. Feels like it's just like parked there. I feel really uncomfortable. Like I just have no clue how to remove it.
Yeah, that's
right. And like, what is it? Transference just came up. Like I got angry at hearing that's right. Like I just feel like lashing out and being like, well, like screw you, or like to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel this bitterness.
That's
right. And then my thoughts went to like that box that's way out in the universe, and it's just hopeless. So I feel like extremely not like comfortable being in my skin now.
Yeah.
Like I literally want to shed my skin.
That's
right. But the thought of that, it's like, I guess like I do believe in there being beauty in this on this earth. Like I do really love so many, like my life and the people that I love. And I know that there is good and beauty, but this feeling in my chest is just awful. I would really like to not feel this way. I just would really like a solution. But it just feels like I'm doomed. Like I feel myself like reaching out for others or for help. Just because I really don't want to feel this way. Like I want to be saved. I just want some help. just feeling lightheaded, and I'm aware of this light over here.
That's right.
I still
You're lightheaded, you're aware of that light. That's right.
the light does feel larger, and like it is, even though this, like my mind is just jumping to like, is like, it's trying to bypass this feeling, and my mind is trying to jump to like, is this God? Like, is this like an angel? Or and that cement ball has like, it's like I'm kind of moving into the light a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But my mind kind of went into like, I want this thing gone, like removed. I don't want to just like, I don't want to just bypass it. I guess there's just intense fear and like, I guess the awareness of relinquishing control to this light.
That's right.
I came to my awareness.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah.
I just feel kind of like curious about what the light is. Like, I guess that idea of relinquishing control.
Yeah.
I guess I'm like trembling again. It's like, it's like I so desire to relinquish control, and I'm feeling myself getting pulled into this condensing over here. So I'm now aware that I'm condensing over here. Like a limb is being pulled in this direction that's wanting that control.
That's right.
And then there's like this expansive light.
That's right.
It's just expansive and light.
That's right.
And my cognition would love to snap my fingers. I would like to do that. I guess I just don't know. I'm like, I feel stuck, like I don't know quite how. I just feel myself trembling, like shaking. I just feel like, what will it take? It's like I'm lightheaded again, but I'm not hyperventilating.
That's right.
Oh, I guess I just am I just want to state out of like desperation and hope, like I would like to go there. I've had this happen before, so I'm aware that my head is moving.
Mm-hmm.
The light is over here, and I'm also aware that it's everywhere. and I seem to be turned towards darkness. I'm getting impatient.
Yeah.
I'm impatient, and then I'm also aware of there's guilt, like I'm aware of your time. Which puts me back to looking at the darkness over here. There's the sense of feeling unworthy. And now I'm embarrassed. That embarrassment kind of seemed to like release something and just kind of humbled me. I feel humbled. Yeah. I feel a little bit more innocent. My like cognition came in and just thinks like was like, this is so weird. But it feels I just got a sense of like looking at the light and being like turned towards the light. I just got a sense of like being like just a brief sense of being like on a beach, relaxed in the sun. And I'm also aware that there's this kind of darkness, and that's like I'm now here, and this darkness is a little bit below me over to the left, and it's like it has like a suction to it, like it's trying to suck me into it, which like a part of me is that finds that scary, but it's kind of getting smaller. So I'm a bit relieved about that. I'm still aware of like something. It's almost like it's smaller on my chest.
Yeah.
But it's smaller.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel held here.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm literally, it like feels it feels like I'm being held by like these hands, like the hands of God.
That's right.
My like cognitive mind is just like doing this thing of like, what is that what it feels like? I literally feel like I'm in these hands. These hands of like, whether it be God or an angel. My mind is trying to go into like a fear place, like it's trying to like think of things to be fearful about. It's like, what if, what about those things? And I'm just currently in these hands and just being like, hush. I'm just feeling like almost like being like pet and just being like, hush now, like hush. I just get this sense that like I want to I want to stay in those hands forever.
That's
Like, I just want to live here in, literally, it's like I'm living in God's hands.
That's right.
I'm aware of like a part of me that's like trying to like rush things. But I also can just feel them.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
I can feel like golden and white light.
Mm.
It's like I'm being blessed.
Yeah.
It's almost like I'm receiving it, like it's pouring down into me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that, it just kind of like turned into like this feeling of like warm, soothing, golden, like nectar.
Mm. Yeah.
And it's like two things are present, although on one hand, I have a part of the story going somewhere about guilt and aware of my you and me in this time and place, but at the same time, also, it's like this light and voice saying, like, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That can be there. Like, I can be in that realm and reality, and I can also actually be here. Like in these clouds almost, and like be receiving this golden nectar. Like it's almost like I just got permission, like Juliet just got permission to like, sure, she can like feel guilty about time and taking up time and being there with Andy. That's fine. Like that's her humanness, and you're also here. It feels really good to breathe. It feels like I am very still and expansive. Like I feel huge, the person that I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also like aware of like Juliet's brain over here. And I feel like entertained by that. It's like entertaining this Juliet. It's like this like like desperate scientist that's like trying to get into analysis and trying to figure it out and wants to have a patent and like or like a solution.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I feel like I can be aware of this breath. I'm aware of this space. Yeah, it's like two things are happening at once. There's this awareness and expansiveness
Mm-hmm.
of who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also at the same time, in the same, like, I mean, there's no space. There's this Juliet. And I guess this Juliet wishes to be this expansive form.
Mm-hmm.
This white light, this white golden light. I just feel like I can actually breathe through my abdomen. And I'm not trying. There's just this feeling of like not trying. And I just smile. I can almost like hear like a monk just say, and I just smile.
That's right. That's right. Mm.
I can feel it all integrating. Oh, I can feel like I'm here. In this body.
That's right. Mm.
And now I just feel kind of curious, what that will look like.
Mm-hmm.
Curious to be like, oh, it's almost like all of that expansiveness got like flow. It was like in a funnel. Felt like it streamed here. And knowing that time and space and like dimensions. I just feel curious about what it will feel like to now be in this, like live in this body. Mm-hmm. And like if like I'm curious what it would feel like to like not try.
That's right.
Like the thought comes up, I want to maintain this, like it's like a clinging, like it wants to cling to this expansive white light, golden light. Mm-hmm. And it's just so irrelevant. Like that clinging is just kind of irrelevant. And so like that's kind of part of like those thoughts and therefore there's just no trying.
That's
right. much I'm curious about. Like, okay.
Mm. Yeah. Mm.
I just have curiosity. I just have curiosity about like what it'll be like to be in this body now. And like joy. Like it feels like an exploration now. I guess I just kind of I'm thinking about books that I've read and these, theories, these spiritual and theories, and I just always wondered, like, when people say, I'm like, how are you so confident that we are here and experiencing that we are God? And I went along with it, but I'm like, how, like, there was a part of me that would kind of like point and be like, how come you're stating that so confidently? And now, yeah, I've had this experience. I had this experience, yeah, of this being this soul and experiencing this. It's like a playful, it's more playful and fun curiosity about life. Like, and part of that is the awareness that there is suffering and fear and this and that. Like it's aware of that. But it's like this feeling, to know that feeling, and to really know, like, to be in those I kind of feel like, okay, like I just feel this relief of, like, I guess I know it might sound crazy to some, but I feel like it sounds crazy to me, to Juliet, but it feels like I like got, like, I was saved, like, by these hands of God. Like, and I don't say that all like hoity-toity. Like, I don't feel like yeah. It makes me want to engage in life, with life. Like, if that is true, like if what I just experienced is true, which it is to me, like, if that's true, like, if that's a trust fall, like if it's true that you can fall back into these hands, then the possibilities seem endless in terms of bravery. It now feels like curiosity, like to engage in life with curiosity rather than fear dictating everything. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. All I did was point you in a direction. You're the one who took the journey. So thank you. You gave me and everybody else an incredible gift, including yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just aware of this mind of mine now, this mind that has been clinically trained that wants to, it's wanting to, it's like it's wanting to bash. It can't wrap itself around what just happened. Yeah.
Understand.
Yeah. I can, I guess just based off of my background, like I guess this mind is like trying to find like a scientific form, like a formula in the sense of like a prescription, almost like it's just is wanting a linear path, and there's just this expansive awareness of like that doesn't have the control. I think that's the biggest thing right now, is like the mind is trying to control. It's wanting to, and just recognizing that it's just is irrelevant. Like that's just not a part of the conversation anymore. My conversation. So I'm kind of like, oh, okay. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what life brings now. Yeah, trust in that light. Yeah, I'm just thinking about like, okay, like what is life going to look like from now on? And I'm trying to think of scenarios, but for me, it's like, oh, I just like it's not that it doesn't matter, but like for me, what matters now is that light and that like, and even the word light, it's like now like I don't want to attach, like I'm just aware of like non-attachment, like not attaching to whatever that may be. I'm like God, I guess. Yeah. It's like only that can. Yeah, I guess there are no words.
Well, your body ought to feel better if you check. You can tell us if the numbness and the pain, what's happened.
Well, there's no pain.
Mm-hmm.
There's no numbness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have a sensation in my heart,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel, I want to say like, it's not that I feel whole and complete, but I feel more like tangible. Like before, for a long time now, it's literally felt like there's a hole through the center of my chest. Like it's literally felt like a tunnel that just goes endless. Like it's straight through me, like literally cut me out in the center, and there's just nothing. Whereas now I can feel that everything is tangible. Like there's substance, and there's a human body. And like I can work with that. And what I mean by that is like I can move forward now, being, I can attend to that. and yeah, and that just feels so lovely, you know, like I'm a yoga teacher, I do meditation, I this and that, like there are all these and practices or whatnot, and I guess I used to think that these practices, whether they be like different breathing practices, different yoga practices, different meditations, nidras, you name it, I guess there was always like a sense of like to get somewhere. And now that I've just experienced this, there's an awareness. Like now, if I was, for example, to do a breathing practice or a yoga or something like that, it wouldn't be to attain or achieve or get somewhere. It would be to remember and remember in the sense that, yeah, in the sense that of what already is. And there's the physical body here right now, and I can attend to that. Like, we've got tools. I can eat, you know, I mean, like it's simple. It seems simple now. Whereas I can show you, if I listed off the complex things that I've tried that are not simple for healing. Whereas now it seems more simple.
Well, we're coming to our completion, so just why don't you take a moment and see if there's anything else that you want to say as we're coming to our end, or what's touched you, or what you're taking from this, or what it was like, or anything. If there is, and if not, we can just let it be and be with what is.
I have a sensation. It's like it's not burning, but it's like a little flickering in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And in the past, I have felt sensations and gone into them, you know, through like a somatic counseling training approach of like needing to go in there and fix or whatnot. Whereas this, oh, it's really neat. It makes me smile because it's not like I thought this. It just came to me. Mm-hmm. This like little flame, I guess, in my heart. It feels very like sacred. It feels like my, like it almost feels like mine. It's like that's a sensation that mine in the sense that like that's something for me to get to explore. It's like a point that I can tune into to feel this connection, this oneness, and so I have immense, profound gratitude and for you and for mainly for like this that encompasses all. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful that no parts were like parts meaning issues or this and that were not included. Mm-hmm. So my cognitive, rational brain might say like how weird certain things were, and I have such immense relief that everything is, I think I've heard you say, and I've said this, where I believe in in it all. Mm-hmm. And I'm just in awe. So I'm just going to end it with, I am in awe.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much. And, I think you've given yourself and a lot of people who may see this a real incredible gift. And why don't we just say goodbye for now, and we can talk and see how you want to proceed. We can do that when we're done with this, okay?
Great. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. So we'll talk soon.
great.
You are.